Kevin is a local boss of one such street gang, a group called the Americans. I go to meet him on his turf.
I just saw a woman hand over some notes for a little... What was it? What would that be?
That will be for drugs.
Yeah, which kind? What kind of drug would it be?
Mostly the elderly people are still also on tick.
On tick?
I think they think it's a keep fit drug.
Keep fit drug?
Yeah, that's why they can clean up. Yeah, they can clean a house like in seconds, and it will be spick and span.
Tick is methamphetamine, and I doubt it creates domestic bliss. Before I travel deeper into Kevin's world, I need to understand the relationship between street gangs on the Cape Flats and the number in Pollsmoor. Andre Standing is one of the leading authorities on South Africa's gang culture.
During apartheid, for a very long period of time, there was no relationship between the numbers and the street gangs. And the numbers actually forbid it, really. They're saying, no, the numbers only exist in prison. They don't make any sense outside prison. Now, this changed quite dramatically in the late or the early 80s, when Mandrax, the drug Mandrax, became influential. The Mandrax is very small, and one
call
dealer...
it button, don't they?
Buttons, right, yeah. One dealer can deal a lot of those and make a lot of money, whereas a dealer in marijuana can't really make much money. So in the 80s, you got a few gang leaders and drug merchants making a lot of money. And these guys have had a major influence on the way street gangs operate. And crucially, when they got sent to prison in the late 1980s, the prison numbers were suddenly confronted by these super rich drug merchants. So they kind of made a deal with the drug merchants. They said, what we're going to do is we're going to fast track you into the higher levels without you knowing all the oral history, without you having to do some of the more gruesome, initiation ceremonies like stabbing people. But we're going to give you a higher level. And in return, we want access to drugs, and when we leave prison, we want access to jobs as well in the drug industry. And it seems what happened is the drug merchants thought this was a good idea. They also liked the status of being generals in the 26s or the 28s. So they became these very powerful men in prison. And crucially, when they came out of prison, they started telling gangs to align themselves to the 26s or the 28s.
It seems the number is evolving and extending its reach beyond the walls of Pollsmoor. I was staggered to learn that there were now 130 street gangs on the Cape Flats, and that the largest of these is the Americans, with 5,000 members, all affiliated to the number. I caught up again with Kevin, a junior boss with the Americans, a violent ex-convict and a sergeant with the number. He invites me to the gang's headquarters, a small shack known as the White House. The Americans have a fearsome reputation, but I'm relieved to find them relaxed. In fact, a little too relaxed.
What?
Is that crack?
What'd you say?
Is that crack or heroin?
That's meth.
Meth?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm tweaking. Yo, these niggas on houses of that meth.
As their drugs kick in, their conversation starts to flow.
But I'm right in assuming that the Americans are the biggest, are they?
Yes.
No, I put it this way. I go as far as the media announced it, you know?
Right.
By me saying that we are the biggest gang, it could be a lie, you know? It could be true too. But according to the media stated the most notorious gang in the Western Cape, the Americans.
And the word notorious, it means that you probably use violence occasionally, yeah?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
The gang are taking crystal meth and mandrax, a lethal combination of stimulant and depressant, which provokes extreme mood swings and aggression. Kevin's gang are Cape Coloured. In South Africa, the term coloured applies to a separate racial community distinct from blacks and Europeans.
About being what is known as a Cape Coloured, would you consider yourself to be called Cape Coloured? Or be called Cape Coloured or not?
I grew up in the apartheid area, and we were called Cape Coloured. I grew up with it. I'm not ashamed to be a Cape Coloured, you know?
There's one thing that people say, though. They say that when both the regime was here, when the apartheid regime was here, you were treated like second-class citizens by the government then, and now the black regime here, the ANC regime here...
Seems to be third now.
Really?
Yeah, you're going low.
Is that a general consensus?
Yeah, that's how you see it. You see how you can count how many coloured people you find in Parliament. Then you see how many coloured, then you see how many European people you find in Parliament, and then you see the majority, the African people in Parliament.
Who's got the money now in the country? It's the blacks. The blacks and the whites. The colours, they don't see the colours. Why? All the armed robberies, all the murders. You get affirmative action, you know?
Sleepy, man.
I go for a job. The black man is get the first privilege.
The Cape Coloured shared the dream of a new South Africa, but it seems they've been left at the bottom of the pile.
When we went to school, every one of us had a dream. You wanted to become something in life, right? Like me, my wish was I wanted to go to sea, to see the world.
What do you think your future holds for you then?
My future, it depends. It depends. I can't predict my future.
I can't predict the future either, only witness the present. But like everything, the present is tied up with the past. The Cape Flats is a racial dumping ground, a legacy of South Africa's apartheid era. The community was established...
You on his dolo, you said?
Yeah, you walking dolo, you better go find somebody who stay there.
Here 40 years ago, when coloured residents of Cape Town were evicted from their homes in what was known as District 6. They were relocated beyond the white enclave of Cape Town to a barren area known as Cape Flats. Today, 2 million of the Western Cape's poorest people live here. 75% of all violent crime in South Africa involves firearms, and there are an estimated 10 million unlicensed guns in the country as a whole. Many of them are here on the flats. Now Kevin, local gang leader of the Americans, has kindly agreed to show me a small part of his arsenal. Such is the lawlessness of the Cape Flats that Kevin has no fear of showing me his guns. He's also frank about his dealings with the police.
Yeah, they will leave you. If you have 150 rand on you, you're free to go. You tell him, yeah, I've got a gun on me.
And if you give him 150 rand, he'll let you go?
150 rand.
That's tough.
Yeah. And you
so
go with it.
£15.
Yeah, you go with it.
When you're loading the weapon, you do this alternatively, don't you?
Yeah, solid, hollow.
Bullets with hollow points shatter on impact. They cause terrible injuries when fired at a person, as Kevin's friend knows to his cost.
He's got an example, his leg is shot to hollows. It splits.
My God, your leg is completely... Learn, what happened, man?
Shot me.
That was a hollow point, yeah?
Yeah, only one bullet.
Yeah, yeah?
Yeah, the leg comes out here.
And hollow tips ain't nothing to play with, boy. That shit is serious.
And then exploded. So they shot you in the leg, and where else did they shoot you?
In my bum. It
Yeah.
exploded in my stomach.
Look at that. Did they... that was a hollow point like this?
Yes, I had to sit through here.
You had to shit through,
Yes,
through
I
the whole
can't use
leg?
the toilet, yes.
Because you couldn't use it, huh?
For a whole year, yeah.
For a whole year you had a colostomy bag.
Oh my God, if they would have made this song, they would have said they put boy in a shit bag. Oh my God, I would have heard the diss already in the song.
Yeah?
Guns are a part of everyday life for gang members. They know how to use them and how to avoid prosecution.
When you're putting the rounds into the magazine, don't you do something with your fingers?
Yeah, we actually put the wooden glue. You put onto your fingers. If you put this part, but we simply take a mist, you put it into the palm, then you just rub it. The wooden glue performs like another skin.
So it fills in your fingerprints?
Fingerprint. So your fingerprint won't be...
On the gun?
On the gun, because mostly if they catch you with a gun so big and it's on the ground, you can win the case. But you won't win the case if your fingerprints is on the gun.
So far, I've seen little evidence.
I ain't gonna lie, they teaching a little game on here.
Put wood glue on your fingers. Rub it in so it feels in your...
So the DNA ain't on the... Okay.
No, so your fingerprint.
Wood glue?
Of any law on the Cape Flats. We asked the South African police to appear in this film, but they refused. In part 3, I discovered that being around Kevin has fatal consequences. And I return to Pollsmoor, where unexpectedly, the General agrees to meet me. I'm in South Africa, where drugs and gang violence rule the Cape Flats. Kevin is a leader of the Americans and a member of the notorious Number. No one is safe. Friends, his wife, even his 3-year-old child have died by the gun. Kevin is very close to his sister Janice, and I want to know how she copes with his life.
I don't agree with him being part of a gang, but he's a different man in the house. What he does outside is his own doings, and as I said, I have a son that I'm raising, and I wouldn't want him to be part of a gang, but he's my son's uncle.
When you look into Kevin's eyes, you can see that there's a lot of pain in there.
He does have a lot of pain, merely because he lost his son. His son he lost about 13 years ago now. It's very sad up until this day, merely because of the manner that he lost him.
How did he lose?
Kevin came home one evening with a cocked gun, illegal of course, and his son found it in the morning, and the gun went off, and he died, yes, on the way to hospital.
I asked Kevin about his son's death.
It was a gun on the wrong place. That's why I don't... It's hard that people made some of the guns. Some guns doesn't have safety, some guns can...
He found the gun, yeah?
Yeah, the impact to the ground. He was in my arms when he died.
Despite the life he leads, Kevin still believes in God.
Do you believe that when you go, if you should get killed, do you think that you'll be seeing them again? Do you hope to see them again?
I'll be living in peace because
I got a hurtful question though. Is that considered suicide?
What you mean?
Did the baby commit suicide?
Nigga, the baby didn't know.
That's why I just had to ask.
That's what I said. It was a little hurtful question. My fault.
I'm already there to straighten my path for the next life. There is, if God makes a promise, He won't break His promise. He doesn't break His promise because He didn't break His promise with most of His followers. So that will be. Even if I don't meet Him, I will be there with Him.
In the heart.
That's the best is your family and your relatives.
Even after the loss of those closest to him, Kevin remains a leader of the Americans and relies on drugs and religion to fill the void left in his life. With nothing more to lose, Kevin is trapped in a vicious circle of gangs and crime. Street gangs dominate the everyday lives of children on the Cape Flats. And like Kevin's son, some of them don't stand a chance. Talking to kids on the street, I am saddened by how familiar they are with gang violence. Do you like the Americans?
No.
No, who do you like?
The Yakis.
The Yakis? Why do you like the Yakis?
Because they shoot, they fight.
Yeah.
They gangsters.
You remember, bro? Remember, bro?
The Yakis.
The Yakis?
Who's that?
Damn, remember the other shit that we watched, the school shit? Not the school shit. Remember, damn, did you watch that shit with me? You had to watch that shit with me. It was, remember the boy was saying, how his father was on drugs and that he might join the gang? Damn, I gotta show you, but that's the little boy.
Why do you like the Yakis?
Because they shoot, they fight.
Yeah.
They gangsters, they shoot people. They blah, blah, blah.
Do they? Do you think that's good or do you think that's bad?
It's bad.
Bad, yeah? Do you ever hear gunfire and stuff like that?
Yes.
A lot, huh?
Yes.
I'm beginning to fear that gangsters are the only role models for the next generation on the Cape Flats, though I felt there had to be another option. This isn't the latest batch of young offenders. These boys belong to the Olympia Boxing Club. In a society this violent, perhaps it's no surprise that boxing's being used to keep the kids out of trouble. I speak to the coach serving Police Inspector Paul Manuel, who tells me just getting to his club is trouble enough.
You know, for them to leave their house and actually get you, they literally have to dodge bullets, and you know, they got to pass through different gangsters' turf and that type of thing. So, you know, for them to get you is 80% of the battle won already.
Paul's mission is to teach his boys self-discipline and respect.
These youngsters then go back into the same community where I found them and start becoming, you know, role models, start becoming ambassadors, but the good role models, the good ambassadors.
Paul's academy gives these kids an alternative to gang life. Mazel is one of the club's success stories. You've never ever become a gang member?
No.
Do you think the boxing's had something to do with that?
A lot. It kept me busy. It kept me busy the whole time. And due to my inspiration, I'm Paul Manuel. It kept me away from being or becoming a gangster.
I've got a lot of time for Paul and the boys, but I can't help thinking they're fighting a losing battle. Even if the epidemic of gangs can be cured on the street, it can still be transmitted from where it thrives, inside the walls of Pollsmoor Prison. My time in South Africa is running out, and before I leave, I return to Pollsmoor, the dark heart of the number.
And I please get the identification card.
The General of the 28th, John Mongrel, has finally granted me an audience. I find the prison corridors empty. It's Sunday, and a church service is in full swing. While I wait for the General, I sit in on a rehabilitation class, an initiative that encourages prisoners to confront their past.
I got 2 kids, 2 daughters. One is 17, one is 12. I don't want they to be raped, because I know how does it feel. Somebody raped my daughter, I kill him. But how does it feel for the other person I did rape? How does our family feels?
It's time to meet the General, the most feared man in Pollsmoor, the highest ranking 28. His bloody road to the top rank of the number began 19 years ago when he was sent to Pollsmoor, convicted of murder.
I was 14 years old.
You were 14 years old?
14 years old.
And you came to Pollsmoor then?
Came to Pollsmoor as a juvenile.
Yeah, and what was your sentence?
My sentence was 9 years.
But how comes you've been here so long then?
In the prison, I go to the 28th. They told me, okay, I gave you a number and you must kill a guy in the cell. And they give me a knife. And the other guy came and they strangled him. And I took the knife and stabbed him in his heart. And 2 times the blood come out.
Yeah. And you did that because you were ordered to?
That's tough.
Yes.
That's tough, that's tough, that's tough.
That's tough.
So I give you a number. You go kill this nigga. Nigga went and did it.
28,
I got 28 years.
So the warder's frightened of you?
If there is a warder, it's not right here in prison. I told the 27, you what the 27 is, there's a knife for you. You must kill the warder or the major or the captain. And the 27, they told me, salute my brother and go. You can watch. And then I go to the cell there.
Yeah, and you watch?
And then watch.
So what would happen if the 27s didn't follow your orders?
I killed them. Because we cannot stand for that duty.
Sure.
I killed them.
The general seemed prepared to talk about the number, so I decided to risk asking him about the initiation rite his junior ranks have been so afraid to talk of.
If a person come in the cell, my duty is to ask him for what he is here and how long he. And I told him, you sleep there. And if he's not the number, I have sex with him.
You have sex with him?
I have sex with him.
How do you have sex with him? You hold him down?
I hold him down. My face him.
You face him, yeah?
Yeah, sex with him.
You hold him down. Does someone else help you hold him down, or you do it on your own?
No, he's scared for me.
So he has to have sex?
Yeah, then he lay.
The secret rites and brutal code of the number are becoming clear to me. Either you fight your way up the ranks, or become a permanent victim.
No homo with the nigga having missionaries.
He said they fear for me, so they lay. He said, oh, so they just lay down. That's tough.
Oh, shit.
Of sexual abuse.
I have sex with a man.
19 years you have sex with a man?
With a man.
Does that make you gay?
No.
Why not?
I'm not a gay.
What are you then, the man?
I'm in daughter, a man.
Right, you're the man. But what about the man that gets fucked? What's he?
He's a woman.
He's a woman?
Yeah, a very fair woman. I'm telling him, you must wash my clothes. He do it. I give him bread, food. I give him a bed.
No homo. No homo. But he looking at these niggas like they his bitch. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
What in the fuck? What is going on?
That niggas, I get the money, I put clothes on their back, and I give me.
That nigga said if they not numbers, I fuck them.
You stuck on that?
I have sex with like
face to face, nigga.
Nah,
and they don't move, nigga, cause they scared of me. That's tough.
And I watch them, he's alright.
So do you have a lady in here now, a lady boy in here now?
I have one.
How long have you been with that one?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Do you change regularly, yeah?
Yeah, I change, yes.
You just walk up to them and you go, you will be my wife?
Yes, she comes sleep by me, by my bed.
If they don't do that, what happens?
Kill them.
So, John Mongrel, interesting man. John Mongrel is one of...
You gotta kill me, my boy. You gotta kill me. I'm off me. Off me.
I'm gone.
Off me. Get me the fuck out of here.
I'm fighting to my death.
Get me the fuck out of here. Where you guys stab me? Right here? Twice? Come on.
I'm fighting to my death.
I might lift my shirt up. Right here? Is it? Close my eyes and all that, nigga. You is not fucking me face to face. What the fuck is this?
Niggas is crazy. Niggas is crazy, bro.
You're not gonna bitch me. Tell me go wash your clothes like I'm a little whore or some shit like that.
Fuck you. Come lay by me.
Fuck you, nigga. Kill me. Fuck that. Why? They should let that nigga talk more. That nigga's
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Say everything.
They need an interview on that nigga.
Right. Sadistic men I've ever met. But I feel it's important to remind myself that he's a result of the problem and not its cause.
South Africa is such a breathtaking place. It sort of feels wrong to say that I'm disappointed. But I am. It's 16 years since Nelson Mandela was released from prison. And while many things have changed, so many things have stayed the same. One elite has been replaced by another elite. Privilege and segregation still exist. The gap between the haves and the have-nots is vast. And gang violence is an everyday occurrence. It may be 16 years since the end of apartheid, but I believe the struggle for South Africa has only just begun.
That was tough.
The ending is tough.
That was tough.
The ending is super tough.
Yeah, that shit.
That was tough. That was tough. The ending caught me off guard. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He got a lot of power in there.
Too much power.
Too much power. Nigga said, if you don't want to fuck me, I'm gonna kill you. Nigga, everything that you didn't want to do, nigga, I'm going to kill you.
You said you. Come lay with me. You my wife.
You my bitch. He said, how long you had him? 3 weeks.
I switched it up. Hey,
that's a lot of diseases. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yo. I switch it up. It's so, yo.
He gotta switch up his bitch. What you mean?
That's tough.
That is ridiculous. What else, gang? That shit is tough, gang. Comment some more videos down below. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow us on Instagram, gang. Life is Sane, Cashmere CEO. Go shop up ITSALLADREAM.net. And you already know the vibes, gang. You give life a new meaning when you dream, and it's your boy, Dream.
And it's Mr. Spin all check just to get fly. You spin all check just to get high. It's Cashmere. Let me out.